Oh, okay, I don't know if... Okay, I guess let's do how dangerous they are in a speedrun. And then we'll do that first. Okay, so first things first. I guess... hold on, let's start with the fodder demon. Okay, so this zombies are not too dangerous in this game, okay? But they aren't pathetic because they still have quite a big lunge. And they can, like, a random zombie around the corner could be pretty darn dangerous. Give that just a week. Lost Soul's pathetic. There's never a situation where a lost soul is killed, with the exception of one hallway. That's because you didn't shoot them early. The cultist space hallway, lost soul is dangerous, that's why we shoot them. Every other instance, I don't think there's an appropriate use of lost souls. That's definitely pathetic. It's not at all good. Where's another fodder? An imp. Imps. I don't think they're weak. Imps themselves, yeah, I'd probably give it the same tier as a weak. In Doom 2016, it's a run ender, but in Eternal? This is for Eternal. Oh, what the frick? Not mean, go back. There we are. Eternal, imps aren't much of an issue, which is the thing. Soldiers. Yeah, that's how they end the runs, but I guess from the survivability, it's like, it's just typical. I know I can rename the tiers, but we're going with this. Okay. S, A, here. A, B, C, D, F. I don't think soldiers are that scary in Eternal. They aren't. These guys, nah, they just kind of sit there and they take damage. They're not really... I don't think I've ever lost a run to a soldier. All right, shield soldier. Shield soldiers are very dangerous. I think I don't want to give them an S. I'll give them an A. Because these guys, you are unaware of one soldier around a corner. He like, comes around the corner of an AA-12 Modern Warfare 2 shotgun, and then suddenly eight bullets go straight to your chest and you're instantly dead. No one-hit protection. No nothing. You're just, like... It's just like it's a high DPS the closer you are to it. And that can happen a lot if you're trying to go fast. Okay, and finally the last fodder demon, the Maker Drone. Maker Drones, they actually cause a surprising amount of damage, but their refill is, like, really... I think for that reason, I give it a D. They're not useless. However, they definitely help more than they hurt. So them being a little bit of a danger really doesn't matter. Okay, on to the heavy demon. Okay, hold on. Let's reorganize this a little bit. Oop. Get all the bosses. Doom Hunter. Okay. Arachnotron. I don't think the Arachnotrons are that much of an issue in runs. I don't think I've ever had a run that really died to an Arachnotron. And, like, the whole thing with Arachnotrons is basically you get in close and, like, you just quickly melt them down. Oh, I forgot a fodder. Oh, the Gargoyle. Gargoyle's S tier. Gargoyle will fuck you up. It's the most dangerous. There's nothing else on the S tier here. It's Gargoyle. Gargoyles have multi-attacks in both up close and far range, meaning that they, in one tack, can end your run. And also, there's fucking too many of them. There's like 15 million of them. They will, like... Dude, you just... Like, what are you gonna do if there's 5 gargoyles? Sure, you could kill them pretty quickly, but they could kill you pretty quickly. You forget about one gargoyle, you could be as good as dead. Gargling on these... Oh, that is hilarious. Okay. So where was I? Oh yeah, Arachnotron. D tier. Arachnotron is definitely not... It's not dangerous. The only thing that's dangerous is the turret. And the thing is, if you know where they spawn, you can quite instantly kill everything. So yeah, not that bad. Here. Let's move the Ultra Demons down here. Alright. The Kako. Okay, so the Kako is super easy to defeat. It, like, dies to 2 SSG blasts, plus this got the grenade in the mouth. However, its Bite Lunge is fucking insane. Because it's, what? On 200 FPS, it'll chase you down across the arena. I think we might... And then also its range attack. I got another fodder. You're fucking with me. You are fucking with me. No, there isn't. Oh, Terminator, mecha dudes. What the fuck? This is what I get. This is why they need to come sorted. Mechas, I give it a C. Mechas are C, mainly just because their flamethrower can do insane DPS. That puts them above the zombie imps and the Arachnotron, because you can get one hit by this dude with a flamethrower. That's it. The only reason why this guy's a C tier. Kako? I think Kako I put in a little bit more dangerous than Mecha, so I think it'll go B tier. Definitely not as dangerous as a rogue soldier, though. But again, Bite Lunge plus the ranged ball attack is actually pretty darn effective. Despite them having good weaknesses, they'll also fuck you up. Carcasses. I think these go in A tier. Got another fodder. Fuck you. Quit gaslighting me. I swear. Carcasses, they are the most consistent enemy in the game. The shields are just freaking annoying. And also, like, you could be trying to kill something very quickly, suddenly, bam, shield in front of your face. What the fuck are you gonna do? Nah, it just shield. Suddenly you have to waste a few bullets destroying it. It sucks. You try to get in close to a carcass because they die in one SSG shot. They might die instantly, or they might live on 1 HP and then Beyblade to instantly kill you. It's definitely not good. They will definitely be one of the prime contributors to killing your frickin' runs. That is for sure. Okay. Why is this? Move the bosses down here. Hell Knight. Where does the Hell Knight go? The Hell Knight's... Hell Knight is just super easy to avoid, which is why I'm thinking of giving it C tier. They aren't that quick. You can quite easily run away from them. The only time you get is like one comes out if a lock-on rocket misses and it goes, you know, and then one that's dead just suddenly ground pounds you, can get you a lot of damage. But other than that, not really that good. I think it's in C tier with the Terminator dudes. Because they don't have one-shot potential, but Terminator has one-shot. I don't know how I'll order inside this year. We'll save that for another day. Let's go with Prowler next. A Prowler is basically a fodder demon with the heavy category. I'd probably put it... I'm going to put it in the same tier with Arachnotrons. Because they aren't that... Like, they're only dangerous if they have, like, a bullshit teleport on you, which happens once in a... Actually, did I say... I mean, if they do get a bullshit teleport on you, I guess they kind of can F you up, so maybe that's better than these. Okay, I'll give it a low C tier. Just because it does have jank potential. That's one thing you gotta keep in. You gotta keep in jank potential as well. Because sometimes a Prowler will teleport, give you no Q, and you're locked onto it, and then suddenly it's behind you because this game glitched out with its teleport feature. So yeah, I guess we put it at the bottom of C. Rev. Revs actually do kind of a lot of damage if left unchecked. I'm just trying to think if there are any revs in the run that really make it that... I'd say maybe these are a high C. These are definitely a high C tier. They're definitely not as... They don't, like, can kill you out of nowhere like the Kako, but from range, they deal a lot of damage. It's just that throughout the run, Most of the time, you don't have a rogue revenant because we kill them instantly. There's very rare circumstances where they are, so they won't... Yeah, they just won't end your run. But they are probably on par with the Kako. It's just that they aren't given many situations to where they can do something. Let's move on to the Pinky. Pinky. I'm gonna give the Pinky a B tier. Because the thing about Pinkies that are frustrating is that you could stun them, and sometimes they could just ignore it, and then instantly give you a 2 or 3 hit combo that brings your health pool down or instantly kills you. I think it's high. It's maybe weaker than the Kako. However, it does have a lot of jank factor that makes it pretty strong. Normally, you just need stun to get around them, but an unchecked Pinky is definitely terrifying. Okay, Whiplash. I think a Whiplash is an easy high A tier. I don't think it's an S tier, but it's pretty darn close. Because Whiplashes, basically, they die easily with a Ballista, Precision Bolt Ballista combo, a Lock-On, PB Rocket, PB. But, they have such a skinny hitbox that it kind of makes those precision shots not worth it. And only in select scenarios will you really do that. So Lock-On is king against him, but if he didn't have such good counters as Lock-On or the Ballista combo, he'd probably be an S tier. Or excuse me, she. Whiplashes are canonically women. I think I'm comfortable in A tier. And also, it has a bullshit ground attack that actually doesn't go on the ground. It goes in the air. Why does a ground attack go in the air? I don't know. They programmed it that way, though. Freaking great. Spectres. I think Spectres are an easy F tier. There's not one place in the game where you are fearful that a Spectre is going to kill you. Not one place. And that's because Spectres are used very infrequently, typically aren't in combat arenas. There's not a combat arena, I think, in the base game that uses them, except for, like, the Dark Lord, I think. Maybe there's one in a fight with BFG. I haven't done some fights without BFG in them in a long-ass time. But they just are a little shimmer and glimmer. And, like, if you're at any way paying attention, you'll definitely see them in the background, because they aren't that transparent. They're, like, transparent the same way a dirty window is transparent. Sure, you can see through it, but you're gonna have to take some effort to see through it. Oh, why is the Mancubus all the way over here? Let's do the Manc next. I think the Manc... I think the Manc deserves an A tier. Maybe not a high A tier, but a low A tier. Because the Mancubus has very high damaging shots from both its arm cannons, provided they aren't broken. As if you get in close, it has such a big damaging AoE that does damage over time. Which, if you get in close and just miss a falter or miss a shotgun blast, suddenly, bam, you're dead, boy. And I think another factor is there's just so goddamn many of them in the campaign. Like, Mancubuses are a staple of nearly every combat encounter. Okay, Red Knight. This is difficult. I think this is... I'm debating between an A or a B. Might give it a high B. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a high B. Main reason is that they're like the Hell Knight in almost every way. So, like, if you're just keeping enough pace around, if you're just, like, moving around, dashing, traversing the combat arena, they'll never catch up to you. They do have some ranged attacks. However, those ranged attacks aren't that strong, and they only do one of them at a time. Not to mention, you just lock them on, and they're instantly in glory kill. They're also used very sparingly, so they won't really have a chance to kill your runs. So yeah, I think I'm quite solid with the B tier, but he's definitely more dangerous than the Pinky and the Kako. Cybermechs. This might be a hot take. I think I'm going to put a Cybermech at, like, the bottom of B tier. Now, if you're doing this casually, like a casual playthrough, and you don't know where all the demons spawn, Cybermechs are probably really scary, right? However, they are so goddamn weak to Blood Punch. Demonstrably weak. Horrible. That if you have a grenade, you Blood Punch them, SSG, like, they're just instantly dead. So if you have a Blood Punch in your pocket, which most of the times in speedrun you do, because we have this all routed, people. We have routing for a reason. You just go in for a Blood Punch, they're instantly dead. And the great thing about Blood Punch is that it will instantly falter them, so they won't get in their big bullshit AoE attack that the regular Mancubus can normally do, because you just Blood Punched them. And then, because they're faltered, you can easily pull up a full finishing combo. That being said, they still do a lot of damage, primarily AoE damage, and can hurt from range. But their weakness is just way too strong. Way too strong. So yeah, Mancubus better than Cybermech. Fight me. Pain Elemental. Probably gonna put a Pain Elemental in the top of B. Actually, either top B or low A. I think actually Pain Elemental will be a low A tier. It's not the best, but it's also not the worst. I think the Pain Elemental gets an A tier because there are some fights where you have to leave a Pain Elemental unchecked, and it will hurt you. The one I'm thinking about in particular is UAC, Atlantica in Tag 1. The big fight you get into right before, you know, the oil rig goes down. There's a Pain Elemental that spawns there, and it will, in the politest way possible, I can say this without any profanity, fuck your shit up. And the thing is, you have to keep it alive for a little bit because optimal combat strategies has you align a Destroyer Blade to hit 3 things at once and then deal the Pain Elemental. And the Pain Elemental will just throw Lost Souls at you until you're basically dead. So it is more dangerous than these. But however, every other Pain Elemental I can think of in the run, we have specific routing to where they don't really get to have fun. The only time where a Pain Elemental gets to have fun is like the Samur fight. And that is dangerous, but it's not too dangerous. That's why I can put them comfortably in A tier, because they're decent, and they will kill you if you make a mistake, but they're not, like, a constant threat, which is why they're the bottom of it. Barons. Barons of Hell. I actually don't know. Where would I put this guy? I think Barons kind of go in C. Because the main thing about Barons, they're not dangerous. They're just HP tanks. They have a lot of HP, and that's it. So, like, if you freeze one of them, you can kill them before they get out of freeze. If you grenade them, you can kill them before they're out of falter. But, like, it will take the whole animation. That just leaves other things to shoot you. But dealing with them on their own, you just, you lock it on to death. I believe 3 or 4 lock-ons is an insta-kill. And then they just basically peel over. And, like, the way Eternal is, as long as you're moving and still shooting them, they'll be dead pretty darn soon. They're never, like, a threat. I guess, wait, hold on. In Amora, there is a fight where they spawn, like, 2 Barons on you. It's very scary because one of them can just jump on top of you with a random spawn. However, I don't know if that's necessarily because they're Barons, but because there's tons of other crap shooting you too. So yeah, I'd probably say Barons they're C tier. So like, they're, okay, for people wondering, my C tier is like an average, like, how'd I put it? Like, these are kind of enemies that can be run killers if you're a little bit brain dead. And by brain dead, I mean, like, if you aren't thinking about it, these guys could easily mess up your runs, but if you're thinking about it, it's all right. Cyber Demon. I say Cyber Demon. I'm probably gonna put the Cyber Demon at a low B tier. For a couple of reasons. One, I don't think they ever lose your runs that much. However, they are formidable enemies. And two, they just don't show up often. What's the place Cyber Demons will most likely kill your run? Art Complex Slayer Gate. And that's because they spawn in 2 Cyber Demons plus 3 Heavy Demons right next. And that's just, it's not necessarily as tough because the Cyber Demons. If you have 2 Bullet Sponge enemies plus 3 Mancubi, of course it will be difficult because there's just so much. So it's not necessarily because of Cyber Demon, because the arena encounter itself. That being said, they're very slow, easy to dodge around. However, they can, if you get cornered, just pelt you with a bunch of the big beam or the missiles. For that reason, that they could just do a lot of damage if you're a little unawares. Maybe not as unawares as the Baron. I'd probably put that at a low B, although the distinguishing between a low B and a high C is kind of mute at this point. Doom Hunters. I think Doom Hunters are a low A. Now, okay, this depends. Am I talking about the Doom Hunters boss or the Doom Hunter? I guess I can do it different. Okay, can I copy this? Wanna do a copy and paste. Okay, well, I guess I'll just change it. But I think regular Doom Hunters, not the boss talking, you obviously need to stun them in order to get in close or to Blood Punch, basically to take them down pretty instantly. However, they're very rare, they have defined weaknesses, and the only real threat from them are their melee lunge. Their melee lunge is, like, killer, mainly just because they can hit you across the map with it. So, it has to be, I think, A tier based on the melee lunge and based on the two-phase nature of it inherently. And so if you don't have Blood Punch, if you don't have Stun, these guys are menaces. If you do have any of that, their first phase is pretty, I wouldn't say hard. They're okay. They're a little meh, but you know. But I'd probably say low A at the end of the day. Now, without delay, Mr. Marauder. I feel like the Marauder is barely A tier. Maybe just above the Doom Hunter. I think they're a little bit more dangerous than Doom Hunters. But basically, the main thing with Marauders is you have to wait for the red light, green light, which is very different than any other demon. But once you get used to it, they're basically, you don't really die to them. If you learn a 1 cycle, they're actually kind of consistent. And fun zoning them makes them kind of weird. Although there is that small chance that fun zone doesn't work. And in that case, it's, yeah, I'd say, yeah, low A tier. They'd probably put them on the same tier of Doom Hunters. They're probably at the same, like, level of effectiveness for killing you. Archies. I think I give Archies, I think they're like a mid A tier. Now, the reason why they end your run is not because you can't kill them or because of a skill issue. It's because of how inconsistent they are. Sometimes they die to BFGs, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they die to 2 lock-ons. Other times they teleport halfway through it. Sometimes you BFG them to instantly kill. Suddenly they're invisible from some corner of the map, shooting fire at you. That's invisible, under your feet. What are you supposed to do? You don't have 1-hit protection anymore because you're on fire. You're taking damage over time. Yeah, you're just kind of dead. You're just dead, dude. So, if everything goes consistent, they'd probably be like a high C tier or something. It'd probably be on the tier of the Baron. But because of their extra jank factor, I think that literally shoots them up to a high A. Gladiator. You know, back in the day, I think I would give Gladiator, like, a high A. It had a pretty good chance of ruining run. However, now that we've become more adept to know his attack patterns, he's kind of more of a cakewalk more than anything. I'd give him, like, a C tier. I don't necessarily know where in a C, but he'd be somewhere down here. It's just the one cycle, pretty consistent. Even if you don't get it, you can just meat hook on top of an enemy and shoot him from his head because he doesn't point his shield upwards. You can finish him off quite easily that way. And the second phase, like, sure, there's a slug battle. Sometimes you take a lot of damage, but at the same time, you can kill him quite quickly too. And at the end of the day, there's the BFG to bail you out if you really need you know, are put into a corner, which will instantly get you health from all the fodder in the air. Yeah, this is like, I think he's a low C tier. Con Maker. I give Con Maker an F tier. Bad boss fight. It's the most simple thing in the world. Stay off the ground, lock on her twice, go in for a blood punch. There's not much more to it. There's Maker drones all around the arena, so you can instantly gain back your ammo. And you just got to make sure you stay on top of her, or else she will stare at you for a few seconds and then maybe send a laser beam that's easily dashable away. Icon of Sin. The Icon of Sin is actually weird, because I think it ends more runs than you'd really expect. I don't think it ends too many runs, but it definitely ends a few, because a lot of the Icon of Sin challenge factor is that you're at the end of a run. It's just been 2 to 3 hours. If you're not speedrunning, it's been 4 to 5. The stress is going up. You're almost there. You can do this. And, like, that will just cause you to make dumb mistakes. I think for that reason, I'd put it at, like... Okay, I won't give it, like, a high A tier. I'll give it, like, a low A tier. But if you just, like, buckle down and do what you do, killing it during the... It's not that hard. But it's the stress potential that really puts it up at A. I mean, his attacks, like, they're choreographed. You stand in a certain location, he'll do the same attack all the time. And he does the same attacks in the second phase every time, too. Like, you're only really in trouble if you make a major mistake. Actually, sure. I'll give him, like, bottom A tier, specifically because, like, he is easy. Like, he'd probably be about just as easy as, like, I don't know, I'd say, like, a Kako or something. But stress brings him up to an A. Oh, Doom Hunter as a boss? If Doom Hunter as a boss, in the speedrun, I'd probably put him at, like, a B tier. Because it, how do I say? You can stun lock him. You can stun lock the boss. It's not that... If you have him stun lock, it's bam. First phase done. 3 lock-ons, dead. Second phase. Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh, you just stun each of them twice. Each of them twice. And then suddenly, bam, you instantly kill them. They're not dangerous whatsoever because you can just constantly keep them stunned. But in general, yeah, A tier. Okay, this is the definitive tier list, people, of how dangerous are Doom Eternal Demons, and I will be taking no other opinion. Let me rearrange this to get this a little bit in the right order. I'd put the Kako there. I think this is a good enough order, actually. Actually, you know what? No, mechas are better. About there, yeah. Definitive. Now rate them on fuckability. Okay. So, now here's the real tier list that everyone wants to hear. What demon would I fuck? Arachnotron. Archvile. Baron. Kako. Cyber Demon. Gargoyle. Hell Knight. Con Maker, Imp, Lost Soul, Mancubus, Marauder, Fodder, Pain Elemental, Pinky, Prowler, Rev, Soldier, Spectre, this, Zombie. There we are. There is my fuckability tier list. Any questions? Hell no, I'm not fucking a demon, in other words. You kidding me? No. Why would I fuck a demon? I think it's quite obvious why I wouldn't do that. Coward? Call me what you want. Who would... No. Fuck a demon or text my ex? Text my ex, definitely. I'm on good terms with my ex. Spectre's at least one tier higher because you don't have to look at it during. No, it's just as not like these are all clearly in non-fuckable territory for me. Okay, the only exception is maybe the Marauder. We'll give the Marauder one tier up because he's actually a human who's sentient. Well, he's not a human. He's a being from the Sentinels with demonic influence, but he is basically, he's got the anatomy. Which demons would fucking... Okay, we've gone too far into degeneracy here. We have gone way too far into degeneracy. I am